Hi, my name is Natalia Sokolova, and I am an English teacher. Let me tell you about myself. I'm Russian, and I have been living in Colombia in Bogota for 10 years now. All these years, I have dedicated myself to working with people from all over the world to teach them English language. I've worked in different English teaching institutions in the university and in the companies where English is a vital skill at the professional level. I've taught English in the areas of logistics, finance, administration, technology, working with general English and English for business. I'm certified by Institution of Cambridge in England, and I'm certified with CELTA, which means Certification for English Teaching of Adults. This is one of the most powerful in the world of teaching certification these days. And I'm also certified with the Sergio Arboleda University for conducting studies in the course Success for Virtual Teachers and by the Northern Catholic University teaching in virtuality. Why is English important these days? So that you can achieve the goals and desires. Do you want to go to another country? Do you want to improve your job position, your salary? Do you want to finish the university or do you want to travel around the world? And you know that they will understand you anywhere and you won't have stress because they don't understand you. You want to learn English about the world, to know about the world and the other cultures, having such wonderful and eyes-opening experience to the great secrets of existence. If that is true about you, then you need English. So today, I want to offer you an intensive English course, which I have created thinking about my own experience as a student and as a teacher. I want to tell you a story. A few years ago, I had an opportunity to learn the French language. It was always my dream. And one day, they gave me a scholarship at the institution where I was working. So I decided to do it in a super intensive way. And I started taking 4 hours a day from Monday to Friday. And I did 4 levels up to upper intermediate. And in 7 months, at the end of the course, without having any knowledge of Spanish, which is a huge help for the people when they are learning vocabulary, and without my French teachers speaking English, only French, and with dictionaries, I finally made it. I managed to learn the language at the level of being fluent, and I could talk about any topic, you name it, from the psychology to traveling, from the cars to the science, anything you want. Obviously, with the schedule, I didn't have to do a lot of homework, and that affected my grammar and my pronunciation. But what was important for me is that I could communicate. Finally, that's why we are learning languages, right? And well, over the time, I was polishing my knowledge and I did it by my own, but there were no longer difficulty for me because I already had my strong basis in French. Thinking about this experience, I would like to help my students to have a rocket experience in learning English and having super intensive class so that your knowledge doesn't stop and you get used to communicating daily in English. We are going to have 7 intensive weeks for 2 academic hours from Monday to Friday so that you can learn vocabulary, grammar, and you can listen to it as a sample audios. And at the end, we're going to use it with the conversations with your classmates. The group in which you're going to be is for maximum 7 to 8 people so that you have space to practice what you have learned, varying the learning and the practice activities. We would have more than 35 topics to discuss, along with the 35 the most necessary grammar topics. Some of the topics that we are going to to study would be the question formation, present perfect and simple continuous, using adjectives as nouns, narrative tenses, position of adverbs, future perfect and future continuous, and real conditionals, infinitives and gerunds, passive voice. And also we're going to talk about the megacities, breaking news, music and emotion, medicine, robbers and burglars, etc., etc. There would be the space for you to ask the questions and doubts that you have always had, or, sorry, or that you're going, or that are going to appear in the path of your learning with me, and it will be explained by me in the best way. So when you're going to learn them, when you're going to leave the class, you're going to think like, oh my God, that's finally I understand it. Finally, it was explained in the way that now I can use it. And this is what some of my students used to tell me after my classes, that finally, after my explanation, they can understand on what is the difference between gerund or infinitive, for example. So how our classes will be. For the people interested in enrolling, first of all, I will make a free call for the level evaluation. And this course will be for those of B1 and B2 levels, the ones who want to improve their grammar and the ones who want to practice their speaking. And if you are at these levels, we'll continue with the next step of signing the service provision contract. The space will be open for 7 to 8 people. We are going to have the classes from Monday to Friday, every day at 6 p.m. for 2 academic hours. So for the next 7 weeks until completing 72 hours. In the classes, I will be sharing the presentation with the exercises, texts, and audios that we are going to practice together. And at the end of the class, I'm going to share the material on Google Classroom platform. Classes will be recorded in case you won't be able to participate one day, so you can review what we did that day and not to be behind on topics. And I'm going to create the WhatsApp group for the people who confirm their participation so that we can communicate with each other so that they can meet their classmates, and also I'm going to share the material. So if you want to learn English fast, that's the time. Please drop me a message. And remember that the limits of my language are the limits of my world. I'll see you soon in the classes.